Hello, and once again, we are live to the Modern Mystery School UK EU podcast and YouTube channel. And today I am joined by the lovely Jessica. Jessica, how are you today?
I am doing wonderful. How are you today?
I am very well. And yet again, I find myself in this privileged position where I get to find out a little bit more about your magical journey. So I'm very excited. And I just wanted to explain to people, because I'm going to be asking you why you decided to become a guide in the Modern Mystery School. And some people tuning in might have no idea what that means. But just to give an overview, only a handful of people that apply to be a guide actually are accepted, and they will have done an enormous amount of work, along the path and be very dedicated. So congratulations, first
Thank
of all.
you so much. It's a deep honor to have been accepted for this.
Now, can you tell us though, but why? Because being a guide is it's a lot of work and it's a lot of dedication. So can you tell us a little bit about your story and why you decided to become a guide? I mean, did you always want to become a guide?
I didn't actually. It took me at least 2 years, longer, I think between 2 and 3 years on the path before I was always drawn to the ritual master path. I wanted to do Enochian magic and learn the ceremony of self-mastery and things like that. And so I didn't really think that being a guide was for me at first, but I just didn't know. And it was through the path that I discovered the importance of guide work and how that fits into my life and my purpose.
And so how did you stumble upon the mystery school? Because I know you've got quite a magical background in any way. But then, why the mystery school and how did you stumble across it?
So I own a metaphysical shop, and we have a vintage trailer out front where we would host different readers and energy workers and people who are, doing light work in a sense in some ways, and tarot readings and things like that. And so a ritual master, an MMS practitioner, applied to do work out of the tarot trailer. But in retrospect, I always wonder what work she was actually doing there now that I actually know all the modalities, because it's a very tiny trailer. Like, you can basically sit across from someone and like maybe it would be good for consultations. But I'm like, how are you doing? Like, what other of these services was she doing in there? I really don't know. But yeah, it was through that. And I remember it was during COVID, so we had a video interview, and I just like to get to know the readers and see what they're doing to make sure it's a good fit. And that was whenever she explained the mystery school to me. That was my first introduction to it. And I was really surprised that I'd never heard of it before, because we had a regional center here in Austin. And I had literally spent years, like, I organized magical community events, pop-up markets for witches and herbalists, and I have my shop and everything. So on our websites, I'd literally been compiling like magical community resources for years, and I'd searched around to see what groups were offering ritual and what groups were offering public events and things like that. And I'd never come across it yet. So I do believe that, it comes to you when you're ready, kind of thing.
I 100% agree, because, I always tell the story that in the ages in past of mystery schools, people would have had to have perhaps gone through the enchanted forest. I mean, I love to tell the kind of magical stories, go through the enchanted forest and battle with mystical things and magic to get through to find the mystery school. And they were, I kind of joke about it in a way, but it is really that journey of it's hidden in plain sight, and you are a perfect example. And I also searched many years for the mystery school and could not find it. And then one day, there you go, it pops up, and the lady said, "Oh yeah, it's all on my website." And I said to her, "You don't have a website? I've been looking for a long time, And she said, "Oh yeah, it's here, it's all here." So.
Mhm.
So it's so interesting, isn't it? When it comes up, it is that right time. So So then you took the step to do the life activation, I'm assuming. And then can you tell us a little bit about your experience from the life activation to Empower Thyself, Healers Academy, and then what made you want to keep continuing?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the first session I received was a full clearing in December of 2020. And then I think it was February I got the life activation. And I noticed immediately like an exponential increase in my energy and my ability to manifest, like with my business. Honestly, it was like, I mean, I've been on the path for 5 years now almost. And I don't think I've stopped expanding at all since then. In terms of the things that I'm building, the things I'm working on, like my own progression. Yeah, it's been one growth period after another, back to back. And I like that. So I tend to keep it moving. So it was like immediately like an exponential expansion after life activation. And then I got initiated in May. So it was only a few months later that I went for Empower Thyself. I do remember sort of I feel like I was being like prepared for initiation in the years preceding it though. It was I think in like 2018, 2019, I spent a little over a year living alone out in Bastrop, which is like it's like a more of a rural suburb of Austin. It was like on 8 acres with barely any internet signal or cell phone signal, and so I spent a lot of time in like deep introspection throughout that year, and it was then that I like got really into dream work and started working with angels, and that's what led me to my interest in angel magic. And I think it was that following that thread, as soon as I learned about the Modern Mystery School offering that type of magic, I was sold. Like I never looked back. I was like, okay, cool, well, this is what I'm going to be doing now.
Yeah,
But I did.
definitely.
I moved back into the city and kind of got refocused on work here instead of like doing that more isolated type of spiritual work. So
It's interesting. So, I mean, you've probably, like myself, tried many other different things. And I wonder if, and I'm sure, we speak to a lot of people out there. Is there a way to explain, or just perhaps from your perspective, the difference between lineage and non-lineage?
well, I could physically feel the magic when I got initiated. That was sort of a first for me because I've explored a lot of different magical practices. I've participated in public rituals of other um, like druid rituals and Celtic pagan and other types of public ceremony, full moon rituals, things like that. And it always had a kind of a sense for me, at least, of just going through the motions of it, almost like if you're raised in a church, you don't really understand, like it just doesn't kind of fit for you. Like it doesn't hit all of the things that needs to hit, and the energy is just not there. Um, I always love other people's stories and experiences of their religious practices and like how they were able to, because people do achieve their own enlightenment and type of conscious awareness through different modalities and paths. And I'm always kind of been fascinated when other people have been able to do that through things that I've tried or experienced, and it just didn't work the same for me. So, yeah, whenever I knelt down and I got initiated, I could feel it through my body. And I think that it is like having an army at your back,
It is.
I think
So,
that's the difference in the lineage and other things that I've tried, at least.
yeah, I would agree. I would agree for sure. So, I mean, the time is whizzing by, and I'm sure you're going to come back onto the show and chat some more. But for now, like, I just wanted to end with really just, so out there, if, there's people thinking, I've done lots of different things, or maybe I haven't done anything,
Mhm.
and it's so confusing, and why should I do this? Or what is it really going to help me in, in my everyday life? Is it going to help me in my mind, my peace? All these different kinds of questions that people ask. What would you say to them about initiation and Empower Thyself in particular?
It's the best gift I ever got, and it is the gift that keeps on giving. The fruits of it have been exponential. Everything that I've built in my life since then, it feels like the energy fuels itself, and it's like it's a positive feedback loop. So I think without it, I would be much smaller in my life and much less. I would definitely have much less growth and much less, maturity, much less of a richer experience of my life. I think I'd be less capable of handling all of the things that I have built. Like, my potential for growth and manifestation has gotten bigger. So, with that comes the ability to handle it all.
Amazing. Well, I think that all sounds like an amazing reason to sign up right away. And if people wanted to get in touch with you, Jessica, where can they get in touch with you? And, because I know some people be watching this and maybe in your local area or surrounding areas, how can they get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So I have a website. It's artemisiaspiritualarts.com. I'm also on Instagram. It's the Artemisia Arts on Instagram, and email jessica@artemisiaspiritualarts.com.
I love it. And thank you so much. And if you want to get in touch with Jessica, she's very knowledgeable, has an amazing background. So I'm sure she'll be able to answer all your questions. And thank you, Jessica. And we would love to have you on the show again, talking about other topics.
Yeah, I'd love to. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Take care for now.